President Trump is threatening to go to war on Nigeria a day after designating the West African nation a country of particular concern over the killings of thousands of Christians there. Stephanie Bennett is live in London with more on this. Stephanie.
Hey, John. Yeah, the president has been very vocal in the last 24 hours on Truth Social. I want to read you just a couple excerpts of one that came out 5 minutes ago. The president said, quote, "If the Nigerian government continues to allow the killings of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into that now, quote, disgraced country, guns a-blazing," he says. He is then hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. And he also says in that post, warning the Nigeria government better move fast. Now, yesterday, the president posted also on Truth Social announcing that he was going to put this country as a country of particular concern, saying something must be done. He's now asking Congressman Riley Moore, Chairman Tom Cole, and the House Appropriations Committee to look into it and to report back.
I think this is going to make a huge difference, and we're going to get right to work on this and get to the bottom of what's happening and give President Trump a full menu of options that we can use to try to stop these killings.
Yeah, and Moore says there's about 15 possible options, including suspension of security assistance and targeted sanctions. Nigeria is, of course, considered one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a Christian, according to the well-regulated Open Doors International Group. Over the years, thousands of Christians have been killed in churches, schools, and entire villages have been burned. Some even brand it a genocide. The Nigerian government vowed today to keep fighting violent extremism and said it hoped Washington would remain a close ally. But some analysts blame the country's inability to protect its citizens over that wide spectrum of armed groups that operate across the country, including Boko Haram.
I think fundamentally Nigeria is a failed state. The corruption is simply out of control. So are the kinds of resources that should be there. It is a major exporter of oil, so it should be a rich country, but a lot of it gets diverted through corruption. So they don't have the resources in order to provide their security forces what they need in order to fight back.
And in order to combat this issue, earlier this year, Washington approved $346 million in arms for Nigeria. Back to you, John.
All right.
My people, right now, there's breaking news that has serious implications for both Nigeria's international relations and domestic security. Reports are suggesting that Donald Trump has threatened possible military action in Nigeria and asked the U.S. Department of War to get ready. Yes, you heard that right. The idea of foreign military pressure on Nigerian soil is being floated. Before we go deeper, please take a moment to like this video. And if you're new here, subscribe so you don't miss updates like this when they drop. Here's the heart of the story. Trump publicly accused Nigeria of allowing violent attacks against Christians and said he had ordered U.S. military planning for possible operations unless Nigeria takes urgent action. He also threatened to cut off U.S. aid if things didn't change. These are strong words, not usual diplomatic talk. Nigeria swiftly responded. The government denied allowing religious persecution, insisted it protects all faiths, and said threats to its sovereignty would not be accepted. The foreign ministry issued statements stressing that Nigeria is dealing with complex security issues and needs support, not threats. Pause for a moment. If you believe that national sovereignty is important for every country, hit like right now and let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Now, let's break down why this matters. First, the idea of another country preparing military action on your territory shifts things from politics to very serious security and diplomatic terrain. Second, cutting aid or threatening intervention changes how Nigeria's relationships and regional diplomacy will be viewed. Third, this moves beyond the local security challenges. It signals that issues in Nigeria are getting international attention and that has both positive and negative sides. For example, this might push Nigeria's government to act faster on violent groups, to show results. That could be good, but it also raises the risk of escalating tension, misunderstanding, or worse, intervention without full local coordination could lead to foreign troop presence, which many Nigerians would strongly dislike. If you are following this and you see potential danger, type "stay peaceful" in the comments and don't forget to subscribe so you're kept in the loop. Another key point: the groups prompting these discussions, militants, religious extremists, bandits, they operate across borders, exploit weak governance, and target vulnerable communities. The US message seems to say, if you don't handle this, we will. Whether that makes things better or worse depends on how Nigeria and international partners handle it together. Should Nigeria accept foreign military planning on its soil? That's the big question. Let me ask you, do you believe Nigeria should accept foreign military help if it means ending violence faster? Or do you think it should be strictly Nigerian-led to protect sovereignty? Type "help welcome" or "sovereignty first" in the comments, and while you do, like this video. Now, the timing is also significant. Nigeria has been under pressure for months. Attacks in the northwest, religious conflict zones, kidnapping rings. International donors and security partners have warned about human rights concerns and humanitarian fallout. So when the US steps in with public threats, it reflects high frustration. On Nigeria's side, such pressure may spark defensive posture or push for reforms, but it also risks backlash from citizens who fear foreign involvement. Keep in mind, planning military action takes a lot: legal authority, international support, logistics, clear objectives, rules of engagement, exit strategy. The US may be signaling readiness, but the practicalities remain challenging. Nigeria has one of Africa's largest militaries, a vast geography, deep communities, and sovereignty concerns. So we're not at boots on ground yet, but we are at the serious diplomatic crisis stage. Pause again. If you believe talk like this should lead to calm diplomacy rather than threats, click like now and share this video with someone who needs to see it. From the Nigerian government's response, we see that they are not rejecting cooperation, but they are firmly rejecting being dictated to. They emphasize the need for respect of sovereignty and shared responsibility. That response matters. It shows Nigeria wants to be partner, not subject. Now, let's talk practical consequences. If aid is cut or delayed, many development programs, security cooperation initiatives, healthcare projects could be impacted. That affects millions of Nigerians, not just politicians or elites. If military pressure mounts, the fear and instability could grow. Communities already under threat may feel them doubly, from illegal actors and from international politics. If you care about ordinary Nigerians first, press like right now and type "people first" in the comments. Another dimension worth noting: how this impacts Nigeria's image globally.
What is really going
when a powerful
on?
country
The
publicly
videos
threatens another,
online,
global investors,
are
regional partners,
heartbreaking, and yet the
multilateral
world
organizations
seems to
all pay
sleep.
attention.
Why should
The question of,
Americans care
is
about
Nigeria
this?
stable, comes into sharper focus.
Well, Laura,
So the
we
stakes
need
here
to
go beyond
care,
immediate security
and I
to
care
long-term economic
as
and
a
diplomatic
Christian.
health.
As a
Now,
Catholic,
what
our
happens
brothers
next?
and sisters
We'll be
in
watching for three
Christ
big
right
things.
now are being
1.
martyred
Will the
every
US
day
follow
in
through with aid cuts
Nigeria
or actual
for the
operations?
profession of
2.
their faith in our
Will
Lord
Nigeria
and
propose a
Savior
strong
Jesus
response?
Christ.
Maybe joint task
The
force,
government
transparency
is the
about
one
attacks.
who's
3.
propagating propaganda.
Will this lead to
in
regional
this.
cooperation across
This
West Africa
has been going
to
on
handle
since
cross-border militancy?
2009. There's in between
If any of those happen,
50,000 and
the story will
100,000
escalate further.
Christians have been murdered.
If you want to stay ahead of the
Just
next
this
move,
year, 7,000
make sure you're subscribed
alone.
and hit the bell.
That's
I'll bring you each development
35
right away.
a day.
To
And
wrap
it's
up,
a
the headline,
claim of
break-in,
ethnic
Donald
conflict
Trump threatens military.
is totally
Action in Nigeria
bogus.
asks
It is
U.S.
5
Dept
to
of
1
war to get ready.
Christians
Reflects a
being
moment of
killed
high
as
tension.
opposed to
Whether
other
it turns into
religions
action
in
or stays as
Nigeria
warning,
right now.
it
This
raises
is
major
a
questions.
genocide
How Nigeria safeguards
that's
its sovereignty,
happening, and we
how
have
it
to
tackles
stand
security
up, and we
challenges,
have to speak
and
out
how
to
global
stop
powers
this.
interact.
I mean,
The way
we
this
heard
plays
about
out
the,
could
you
shape
know, the
Nigeria's
Free
future in
Palestine
more ways than
movement
we realize
and the
today.
concern about,
As we
you know,
stand now,
innocent people
what's clear is
being
that
killed
this
or
entire
caught in the
situation between
crossfire.
Donald Trump's warning
This is a
and Nigeria's
deliberate
response is
targeting
more of a diplomatic tension
people,
than a real
women,
military
and
operation.
children for their
But
faith.
even at that,
It's happening
it's
in
serious.
Sudan. It's happening
reminds
in
Nigeria,
Nigeria.
and indeed
And-
all
and
African nations,
what can
that the world is
America
watching how they
do
handle internal
with
security
our
and human rights.
economic might,
Nigeria has said it's fully
and
capable
all of our
of managing its own
influence
affairs, and that's true.
to try
The
to
country's military
stop
has
this
been stepping up
madness
operations
and
in
this
the north
ongoing slaughter.
and tackling
What
violent groups
power do we
across
have
multiple states.
over this
But
part
what
of the
many
world?
people are now watching for
Well, let me
is
speak
how both sides
specifically
handle
to
this talk.
Nigeria. This is
Whether
why
it
I've
ends with partnership and
requested for
support,
Nigeria
or
to
with
be
stronger words that could damage
designated
relationships.
a country of
Let's be honest,
particular concern,
nobody
which
wants to see tension
Trump
grow
had
into
done
conflict.
in his first
People want
administration,
peace,
but of
safety,
course, the
and progress.
Biden administration
So the best
took
outcome
that
here would be dialogue and
designation
cooperation,
off
not
because
threats
they
or panic.
claimed the killing
If you agree
had
that
more
peace
to
and
do
dialogue are better than
land
military threats,
disputes that
please hit
were
the like
started
button
because
right
of
now.
climate change.
And if you haven't subscribed yet,
Hard to
do it
believe,
now
but
so you can
that's
get
what they
updates as
had
soon as we
claimed
drop
in
new
this.
information.
So we're asking
Because this story
for
will
this
continue to
designation
unfold.
to get put back
At the
on
end of the
because it
day,
actually made
the
a
truth is simple.
difference in
Every
slowing
country
down and
deserves
stopping
respect.
killings in
Every
this
life
region,
deserves
but we
protection.
have to do
And the world needs
something
less confrontation
to stop
and more
this.
understanding.
Well,
Thank you for watching till the end.
Public
Let's keep praying
awareness is
for peace in
growing,
Nigeria
and people
and across the
want
world.
answers and want
And once
action.
again, don't forget to
Congressman,
like,
thank you very much.
share, and subscribe so you won't miss the next update.